What's up, guys? Welcome to Grease Lightning Reactions. We're here for a season anime preview for this upcoming spring 2016 season. We're gonna. If you've seen my previous video, you'll know what's gonna happen. Basically, I'm gonna talk about what I know about each of these series, what I'm gonna be live reacting to, what I'm gonna be watching on my own. And basically giving you a rundown of like the staff that is on board with each of these shows, what they're known for, things like that. From what I can gather from the trailers, why I'm interested in something, why I'm not, and it's also an opportunity for you guys to let me know if there is any of these have like a manga or a light novel that you guys are aware of and can like something that might not come across as really good, but ends up being really good. So, for example, people suggested Konosubarashi Seikai. I don't remember the full name, but that was something that I was going to skip over because it looked pretty generic from the image. There was no trailer at the time, and it turned out to be one of my favorite shows of the season. Also, another one of my favorite shows this season was Grimgar Hai no Genso Grimgar, something like that. Another show that was suggested, I should watch this. It might be a slow burn at first, but it is actually a really good show, and it ended up being a good show. I've had a good history of people giving me suggestions. But it's also a way for you guys to be more informed as to what you might want to watch, give a shot at least. I have done some research. I know basically as how much I've learned from HCart, looking at Wikipedia and looking up trailers and such like that, just looking up histories of things. And I'm going to mainly be talking about things that I really looked into. Some of these things are going to be shows that I have not really any interest in based on the little text or based upon the image that is present, because a lot of these don't have trailers yet. And who knows, maybe I'll be interested when those come up, but I feel like this is sufficient time to be able to begin talking about these, give people an ample opportunity to watch this video, because last time, this video was around 50 minutes long, so we'll see how long it takes for this one. I have my information, I'm going to try to get through it. But yeah, so let us begin. This first show, I should probably also explain my color coding. So, I've color coded all these from the beginning. Red means I'm probably going to skip out on the show. Yellow means I'm probably going to watch it on my own. And green means I'm thinking about doing a live reaction. These may change when it comes to, based on feedback and based on maybe a new trailer that comes out, or maybe I change my mind. Anything can happen, but this is my preliminary thoughts about what I'm going to do with this. And, yeah. Alright. So, this first one, no interest whatsoever. 12-side Chicha na Mune no Tokimeki. My Japanese is going to be pretty off. I tried my best with pronunciation, but like it says in the description, this is just about seems like a slice of life going through school in the eyes of a 12-year-old, looking at romance, friendship, and just how the innocence of being a kid. That's basically what this is all about. Not really something I'm too interested in right now. If you guys want a show that is really good at bringing out like the childlike spirit and has really good representation of children, like how it feels to be a kid and really innocent and a nice, warm slice of life feeling, I recommend Barakamon if you guys have not checked that out. Alright, so next, Akatsu? I'm just gonna give up. Not interested whatsoever. Let's just say this is another one of the really, really numerous idol shows that are out there. I'm not really interested in idol shows in general. They usually end up being pretty shallow as far as content, so I'm gonna leave this one be. I didn't really look into anything about it. Alright, here's one that maybe some of you might be inclined to watch. Bukuon. Basically a show about a bunch of girls that are really into motorcycles. And I believe the main character is someone who was not interested at first, but she joins a motorcycle club at school. It seems to be something that is pretty like as far as artistically and animation wise, it is done very well. I've looked at the trailer, but of course it is a slice of life. I'm not sure if they're gonna do racing. It does have sports in the description, so who knows? Maybe this will turn into something that goes into more of a 1v1 or like riding in a like a squad or whatever they call themselves when they're like a group of people on a motorcycle. Frankly, I'm not interested really. This season is really, really good, so I've been having to cut down on things that I might have watched otherwise. So, and I'm sure some of these that I have greenlit for myself will be going off the list based on the availability that I have for this the rest of this semester of school. So, not something I'm interested in. Next, Battle Spirit Double Drive. Card battling, it looks like. Maybe something similar to Duel Masters, if you guys are familiar with that show. I think Duel Masters might actually be on this list. Don't really watch any card-based shows besides I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Up until I think is that still the first season? Yeah, I watched all of Yu-Gi. I didn't really look into the second season with Jaden and all that stuff, but as far as card shows go, that's the only thing I was really ever interested in. So, not something for me. Next, Beyblade. Never watched Beyblade in my entire life. I know that the main character of Beyblade, there's a lot of girls that I've met that had a crush on him. Kay or something, Kai, when they were younger. I'm not sure. I've met a few people. It's pretty crazy. I don't know what it's about this kid, but there's a lot of people that have Beyblade very precious to themselves. A lot of our shows that we watch as kids were more willing to watch when we were adults. Like, this is a Samurai Jack show that is going to premiere. I'm not sure if you guys know about it. It's not on this list for sure, and I'm not sure when the release date is. Samurai Jack was one of my favorite shows, and that's something that I'd go back for. Like some of us might consider like Dragon Ball Z as something that we would watch, that we watched a ton of in our childhood, and that nostalgia factor. If you look at DBZ itself, there are tons of negatives, but it's so fun to watch, and there's so many good memories. Maybe it's similar for you guys for Beyblade. I'm not sure. Not for me. Not for me at all. So, did not look into this. Alright, here's something that I look into, but I ultimately decided not to actually watch. So this is called Big Order. It's by Studio Azreed. So Azreed also did Corpse Party, if you're familiar with it, and the Mirai Nikki. So Mirai Nikki is on my poll right now. I think it might be second place. So I'll probably end up doing a reaction to it after I do the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. I've actually just finished my reactions to Darker Than Black, and once I get back to school, I should post those. I'm trying to fix one of them, but otherwise, yeah, we should be moving along to the next reactions. I'm also doing Gintama, so we'll see. But yeah, so this group has a couple shows that are pretty good. The director is actually not known for anything in particular that I'm familiar with. He did help animate the original Fate Stay Night. Take it or leave it. I think it was the Studio Dean did that one. Not the best of animations, not the best adaptation, and that is what he helped with. So this is like a show about powers, which this name Big Order is basically the name of the users. They're called Order users that have these powers that are based upon wishes that they have. So I don't know exactly, if you wished for to fly, maybe you'd get the ability to fly, or if you want to be maybe you wish to be free, and that gives you flight. I don't know exactly how it works. Not really. There's a tyrant that's going around that's turning people into puppets, and it seems to be one dude main character with a bunch of girls, except this might actually be a guy right here. I'm not exactly sure. So if you guys are looking into something, maybe that's something you guys would be interested in. Not really for me. So this first, a lot of these shows in the beginning, I'm not interested in at all. So we're almost there to the first one that I'm actually interested in. Next is Sailor Moon Crystal. Oh. Sailor Moon Crystal. So, first of all, not a fan of Sailor Moon. I tried watching Sailor Moon Crystal the first season when it came out. This is the third one. And yeah, I feel like that is a show that you have to have watched when you were a kid, and it's, very geared toward young girls. They're usually going to have a fond memory of it. I have a friend that when he was a kid, he watched it, but, still no interest in it. So it's like, maybe I'll watch it to see what it is about at all. Maybe sometimes I look at anime in a more scholarly way. I should have knowledge of this. Like, what is this about? And I just couldn't get into it. The main character's voice is just too squeaky. The day-to-day activities, the episodic nature of it, the romance, none of it worked for me. So I dropped in like 2 episodes. I don't know how many I watched. So it's the 3rd season of this. Second, what is going to make it so I for sure don't do live reactions to it, you notice this... Oh, wrong way. You notice the studio. The studio down there. Right here. Toei Animation. No. Toei Animation and TV Tokyo. I believe those are the main ones. Those 2 people are the worst when it comes to copyright strikes, regardless of what you're doing. I've had strikes for One Piece from Toei when I've only had subtitles. Now, I had those strikes, I counter-notified them, and I never had trouble again, but when I see those names in the studios or the people in charge of broadcasting it, because TV Tokyo is not the publisher, I'm pretty sure. They are just the people that are in charge of broadcast. So I can't bring myself to do it. I have to. I usually hesitate. If it's a really good show, maybe I'll find a way to do it. There is a show that's coming up that also has pretty big problems with copyright, and I'm gonna have to do it a different way if I want to do it. But yeah, it's always terrible when those people come up. Damn, we're already at 12 minutes, and I'm talking about things I don't even care about. Anyways, it's for you guys. All right, so first show we got Boku no Hero Academia. I have had so many requests for this. When this first came up on AnyChart, I was already, I was in. It didn't matter. This looks super unique and very cool, and the fact that Studio Bones is doing it, I'll try anything that Bones does, at least a little bit. Bones rarely let you down, and recently they've been on a roll. So they did Akagami no Shirayuki Hime. They did what was that show? They did Noragami Arigato. That was a recent show. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. They're in charge of that. The Cowboy Bebop movie, if you've watched that. Darker Than Black. Space Dandy. Bones is one of my favorite studios. I'll tell you straight up. They've had a few instances where they've screwed up. I'd name Captain Earth as the main one that comes to mind that I've watched that hasn't been so good, but usually they're on point. Now, Boku no Hero Academia have really popular manga. I've heard great things about this. A lot of people swear by it. Just going by this this image, colorful, vibrant, comic booky, of course, with the thick black everywhere. I'm really liking the style. The director behind it has done so he helped direct Monster, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. If you have not watched Monster, really go watch Monster. Monster is one of the best shows ever. It is a psychological thriller about a murder cases, and it's an older show, and it's around 70 episodes. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. That is one of my recommendations for sure. It's in my top 10. He also directed Gundam Build Fighters, which I've heard pretty good things about. I haven't watched enough Gundam to actually go watch that, but I will eventually. I plan to. And he helped with Gundam OO. And one thing that makes me hesitate is the director also did Classroom Crisis. Now, if you have a director, so it's a hit or miss, right? He did Monster, but he also did Classroom Crisis. But the subject matter, what word am I looking for? the source material. The source material is probably good enough that even if it's a rookie director, it should be fine. Better than fine if it's really good. Like this is supposed to be really good. But yeah, the person who's in charge of the character design for the anime also helped design Mushishi, a show that I want to get to eventually as well. And if you've watched the older, I think it's in the 90s, probably 90s, Berserk anime. So yeah, not the one, but not the Golden Age films, the anime. They did that. Now the next thing is the music. Music is supremely important in anime, and the person that is doing the music in this has me really excited. 2 shows in particular this person did. Death Parade, who can forget that opening? And Haikyuu. Haikyuu's soundtrack is one of the best I've ever heard. Both seasons have been fantastic, and that is what it's going to be for this. So you can bet that the hype and the use of the music is going to be perfect from moment to moment, and that is what this person is really good for. Alright. The other thing is, I want to kind of explain maybe a little bit. I haven't looked too much into this because I don't want to ruin too much for myself. But this is really about so it's My Hero Academy, right? I think that's what it means. Boku, I think, is me. I'm not sure. But no Hero Academy. You can't really screw that up. But, so this is about a world where people are born with quirks. So quirks, I think, are basically people that have superpowers. And it's 80% of the world that has superpowers, basically, that are born with it, and they usually attend these schools to harness that power, learn how to, fight with it. There's good people and bad people, of course, and the main character is someone that wasn't born with a quirk, if I understand it correctly, but he still wants to attend this school. So, it's going to probably be an underdog story, believing in yourself that not everything has to do with your genes and how you're born. You can overcome those handicaps that you're born with, if you consider them handicaps at all, So, yeah, it's going to be, I think it's a pretty safe story from the onset. I don't know how complex it gets later. I'm expecting big things. I don't want to hype myself too much, but, sometimes you can't help it. I'm really interested in this guy. This guy's hair is fantastic. I thought it was his eyebrows at first, but it's his hair. He looks like he's going to be the director or something, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm sure most of you are already going to watch this, so it doesn't even matter. Alright, so next, did I tell you that I like Bones? So I think this is the 2nd out of 4 shows that they're doing, and all of them I'm going to watch. Oh man, Bones. So, as I explained earlier, Bones, great studio. This is a show that already has a 2nd season scheduled. I think they're planning on, they already know that this show is going to be good. So the director behind this, Bungo Stray Dogs, the director did Captain Earth, bad, and Soul Eater. Soul Eater I really like. So Captain Earth, mecha show, some powers and stuff behind it. Soul Eater, from what I understand, action, powers, colorful, that kind of stuff. That is a show that I plan on live reacting to pretty soon. After at least, maybe I'll do Haruhi Suzumiya and Mirai Nikki, and then I'll do Soul Eater. Soul Eater is a longer show, so sometimes I hesitate to do it for something that's not seasonal, but I've heard enough good things, but I have to be careful with it. Soul Eater can get people strikes, so maybe I might have to do subtitles. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, music, really good music in store for this show. Gurren Lagann's, the person that Gurren Lagann, Noragami, Akame ga Kill, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2, which is the Joseph Joestar arc. Perfect. Music's going to be fantastic for this. If you watch the trailer, already setting the mood perfectly. Now, what is this? Maybe I should have been explaining what this is, and then, that's what I'll do from now on. You guys are probably less inclined to know who's working on this than I am, but that's usually what's important to me first. Just because, the premise might be amazing, but if you don't have the staff behind it, usually that can limit how good the show is, But yeah, that's how I'll do it from after this one. So this is a detective show. The main guy was put in an orphanage. He gets kicked out, and he ends up falling into this string of events that lead him to a detective agency. Now the detectives have superpowers, right? If you can't tell, this dude's coat is not normal, right? Oh, by the way, yeah. So this is green. So live reactions. Yeah. So they're tracking some super. They're probably going to be tracking other supernatural people. So there's going to probably be fight scenes that are pretty fantastic. Remember, Bones is doing it. Fantastic animation studio. And they're tracking some kind of tiger, from what I understand from this. Yeah. So they're tracking this tiger that has a connection to Atsushi. Okay, so yeah, Atsushi, who is the main character. Really, really nice artwork, fantastic direction. If you watch the trailer, you'll probably get hyped for it. So there's that. Okay, so this is a show I'm watching on my own, Concrete Revolutio Part 2. Third of the Bones shows. I talked about this in my top 20 anime, so I'm not going to talk too much about it here. But this is more of a historical piece from Japan's perspective, really channeling like feelings towards nuclear power and the atomic energy, but with a superhero twist to it. It is a show that is showed out of order, and overall, it's not the best of shows, but it's consistently great to the point where I'll watch it. I'll finish it for sure. I've been super intrigued, especially the second half of it gets really, really crazy. And I'm excited to see more. Really, really colorful. Reminds me of Persona, color-wise. More vibrant than that, but yeah. Really good show. If you want a show to watch. If you need something to catch up on, maybe that's something you might be interested in. Okay. Duel Masters. Don't care. Honestly, I tried a little bit of Duel Masters when I was younger. I watched the trailer for this. It seems a little too kiddie for me. Kids. Even the label's there. So no. Not for me. Alright. Enride. I thought I had information about this. But guess not. So this is a show that I'm not going to be watching. This is another one of those where it seems super generic. You know, alternate world story. You know, main protagonist is super powerful. I just looking at the main image itself, one thing that made me hesitate was Brainspace. Brainspace, I think, did Durarara, and that is one of my favorite shows as well. So I had my reservations. At first I had this marked as something I wanted to watch, but looking at how many shows I had marked, if you just read this, it just seems super generic. I mean, it seems to be a story of royalty, vengeance, you know, nothing from this, like, I read this and I don't even remember what it's about. That's how much it left an impression on me. The terrible thing is that there's no trailer, and that is never good if the trailer's not out yet. Maybe when the trailer comes out, I'll add it to my list. You'll see a live reaction of it, or maybe I'll watch it on my own. You'll see it on my anime list. By the way, my anime list is linked on this channel if you guys want to follow it. Know what I've watched, what I liked, you know, what I'm watching. That's available. Okay. Anyways, not going to watch Enride. Flying Witch. This was a show that I would have watched had this not been such a busy, you know, season as well. This is made by JC Staff. You guys might be familiar with JC Staff. They made Food Wars. They made Prison School. They made Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? All pretty good shows. Food Wars, particularly, in Prison School. Some of my favorite shows. Prison School is like my favorite comedy, like, besides Gintama. Gintama is my favorite, and then Prison School, comedy-wise. And Food Wars is just a perfect competition show. Really, really good. So this is about, you know, a girl, you know, who's learning to be a witch. It's like a slice of life, relaxing show. Sometimes I like to have some of these alongside all the superpower flicks, the mystery, you know, high octane shows. Sometimes I'll add in a show like this. And if you have the space for it, I feel like this might be okay. JC JC, like I said, JC staff has done a good job with most things, but the staff, not a single one of the staff members on this, at least listed on any chart, seems to have done anything of note. So keep that in mind if you're going to try this out. Man, talking for long periods of time is rough on the voice. Okay. Ugh. Time is 6:40. Alright, I have like half an hour. I should be done with this in half an hour. Alright. Here's your card Buddy Fight. Another card show that I have no interest in whatsoever. Okay, so Gakusen Toshi Asterisk 2. This is a show that is very likely to be dropped from me. Okay. I think this is 2 seasons ago I watched the first season. I had time in my schedule 2 seasons ago for a couple shows. I had a couple shows that were really similar. One was this one, and one was Rikaidi no Chivalry something. That show was actually pretty good. This show was a similar show, but not as good. But it was made by A1 Pictures. A1 Pictures, I'll talk about in the next show that I'm actually going to watch, but A1 Pictures makes really quality stuff, so I gave it a shot. It's good. It's one of those, you go to a school, it ends up being like, to move forward. I'm stuttering. To move forward in like schools and rank, not schools, in rank and grading wise, you do battles with other students, fight other schools, and this seems to be similar. There seems to be a little bit of a mystery aspect to it. The animation's pretty cool. They use energy weapons really in this show, but nothing too great about it. So really likely to be a candidate to drop it. We'll see how it starts. I'm going to start it just because it's something that I've watched the first season to. I hate like watching a season and then not continuing it when there's a second season. Now, if I need to at least start it, and if I get the feeling partway through the season that I don't like it, I stop it. So that's how I usually do things with that. Yeah. Okay. Geki Idol. Not interested in any idol shows, so not my cup of tea. Alright, so this is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Now, this is an anime adaptation of the 3DS games made by Capcom. They have been only on those systems, really. I've played through 1 through 3 and Apollo Justice. So, let me get this straight. So, this is a detective show, if you can't tell. So, the main character is both an attorney and he looks up he's really good at finding evidence. The game has always been about piecing together everything, taking first-hand accounts of incidents, them really throwing a wrench in things like thinking, like leading you one way, but it ending up being another way. And it's just a really fun game where you have to present the evidence, like find faults in what people are saying and present the evidence to counteract stuff like that. So, that being a text, like visual novel style game, I feel like it's going to translate very well into a show. What I will say is that you may ruin the game for yourself if you watch this. I'm not sure how. It'll probably be 1-to-1. Now, for me, I forget detail very easily. Maybe halfway through through an episode, maybe I'll remember something crucial. But I was thinking about doing live reactions to this just because I may not remember details. But ultimately, I decided that I may not. There's only one show that I am considering doing live reactions to, even though I've seen it, and that's for next season, which is Berserk, because it's my favorite manga, and I just have to see it animated, and I feel like it'd be fun to live react to how they do it. And plus, that it's like 300 something chapters, so I'm bound to forget something, A lot of things, probably, especially from the first bits. So yeah, this is by A1 Pictures, who are they're on a roll as well. One of the best studios out there. They're doing Grimgar right now. They're doing Erased, one of the fan favorites right now. Seven Deadly Sins. They did Moggy. They're doing Gate. Old Noah Zero, Blue Exorcist, Sword Art Online. So production wise, they're some of the best. It really depends on who is behind the scenes as to how good these shows from A1 Pictures are going to be. They're usually at least good. So, the director is the director behind Space Brothers, which was a 100-something episode show that started in 2014 or something that I've heard amazing things about. So, at least from a director standpoint, it seems to have a good director. Musically, it's going to have the same music, same person in charge of music that did Inuyasha, as well as D. Gray Man. D. Gray Man I'm watching right now on my own, just for a little spare time whenever in the middle of the night when I can't do live reaction. I'm watching D. Gray Man just because there's a 2016 season coming up, so I kind of want to get ready for the fall when it's supposed to be a continuation. Well, of course, if I don't like it, I'll stop, but I'm skipping filler and stuff for that show, so yeah, D. Gray Man. It seems to have pretty good music. It's pretty good. And then, I feel like it's going to be a pretty good show. The person who's doing the series composition with basically how the lines are delivered and what to cut out from the source material as to what they're adapting. The person who's in charge of all that stuff, they did Fairy Tail, Berserk, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and Prince of Tennis. So, besides Berserk, pretty mainstream stuff, right? So, those shows all execute pretty well. So I'm not expecting something fantastic, even though the games themselves are fantastic. But I'm just expecting something really solid. If you have no intention whatsoever of playing the games, I'd say watch this. It'll be fun if they do it right, which, like I said, I have faith. But if you're interested at all in playing the games, you can get them on iOS now. They're available on iOS. I think all of them, and that is a perfectly great way to play them. I played one of them on iOS, and it's actually really well done. So, yeah. Check it out, man, if you're interested in visual novels or detective work at all. It's really good. Whew, talked about that for a long time. Alright. Hi, Furi. This is about, where a lot of the world has been submerged. Not everything is submerged. I believe Nagi no Asakura, which I'm not super familiar with, but something that I've been interested in that just because the art and how good it looks. But this is a show about I think these girls are part of a group that is in charge of making sure that the waters are taken care of, and that they're safeguarding, and they have they share a dream of becoming these people that safeguard the cities as well as their waters, and a group called Blue Mermaids. Not really interested in it. All right, here's another show. Maybe this is one of those lower tier shows that maybe I would have checked out if I had more time. 100, probably similar to Asterisk that I talked about earlier. A school, people battling each other in an academy. The weapons they use are called hundreds, and it's one of those, the main character's super powerful. He has a bunch of chicks around him. Pretty standard as far as I'm concerned. There's a light novel, so maybe you guys can speak otherwise. I made the same mistake about Chivalry, or whatever the name of it is. Rukaido no Chivalry. So if I'm mistaken, let me know, but to me it looks like something that's pretty generic. Alright, yeah. This is one that this is probably my second most anticipated show. Boku no Hero being 3 in context. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What can I say about it? If you have not watched JoJo's, if you have not done that, please go watch JoJo's. At least get through the first few episodes when things get picked up, especially the second part of season 1. I love Battle Tendency. Phantom Blood is good, Battle Tendency is great, and Stardust Crusaders, which was started last year and ended this year, Well, actually, I think it all started and ended last year. Probably. It's so good. It's so unique and colorful and um, just fantastic in general. And this is part 4. Always ready for more. Uh, David Productions doing it. The same people that did Stardust Crusaders, and I think the first part as well. The first 2 parts. So this should be fantastic. There's Jotaro is in here. Joseph, I think, is in here. And the new main guy is Josuke. Sorry. I'm not sure who the main villain of this part is. I don't know much information at all. I think I read the first chapter, and it seems like stands are still a really big thing in this. I haven't really watched the trailer just because I know I'm going to love this. There's no question to me that I'm going to love this. So I should say, just if you haven't watched JoJo's, it is about basically the Joestar family and their like endeavors against the supernatural, basically. Vampires. If you've ever played Persona, the second season Stardust Crusaders is about basically these. They're called stands, but they're personas, like these beings that are basically have powers. But if they get hurt, the user gets hurt. It's really cool. The comedy is on point. If you guys really like sports anime, and you have that feeling in sports anime where like you just are really, really attached to the cast. I mean, the same thing can be said about shonen. Like, if you really like Team 7 in Naruto, if you like the main dudes in, the main guys in Bleach, Ichigo, Chad, all of them. If you like Natsu and in Fairy Tail, I mean, in One Piece, if you like the crew, if you want that kind of feeling, you will grow that attached to these people, these main characters, especially in part 3, which is season 2, Stardust Crusaders. I cannot wait for this to come. This is one where I'm going to have to change how I do it. JoJo's is harsh as hell with copyright strikes. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do just subtitles or if I want to do timestamps to be sure. But I need to do live reaction to this. Unfortunately, I wasn't doing live reactions when the first part was going on. I mean, I think I have a couple videos for the end of the second part of season 2, but otherwise there's just so many good moments in JoJo's. So quirky, so unique, and there's a reason this is my second most anticipated show. One of my favorite franchises. All right, Joker Game. So this is an undercover intelligence show. It seemed similar to the Stray Dog show to me before, just because detective and undercover intelligence, but that is power based. This is grounded, and it's also pre World War II. They're I don't know if they're gonna be looking into the other countries in World War II that are involved, like the Japanese, Germans, looking into America, Italy, and all that such. I don't know the premise of exactly who they will be investigating, but it looks like something that will be pretty suspenseful, something with a little bit of mystery in it. See, it's historical military setting, so I mean, it doesn't have the mystery tag, but the studio, again, a really strong studio. Production IG, they do Haikyuu, Psycho Pass, Guilty Crown, and if you've watched Gargantia, they also did Gargantia. The director is, the director hasn't directed anything that's that great, but he helped with key animation in Hajime no Ippo Season 2 and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So maybe he can help with the animation direction, but otherwise, not much. Other thing is, if you guys are excited for an upcoming show, which is Kiznaiver, this art style is the same. Is done. This character design is done by the same guy that is doing that one for Studio Trigger. Like I said, if you've watched the trailer, very similar to Stray Dogs, really beautiful, Uh, it, as for I mean, in regard to comparing it to Stray Dogs, it's very, very clean looking, very fluid, beautiful animation. It really reminds me, if you guys have watched Rainbow Nisha, the setting and everything is really similar to that. So just check out the trailer, and I think you'll be convinced that this is at least a show that you should look into at the very least. Musically, pretty good. Fate Stay Night, Barakamon, and Perfect Insider. Perfect Insider had really good situational music. Barakamon had good music. Fate Stay Night original, I'm not sure about how the music was. Maybe some of you guys would. I've only watched Unlimited Blade Works and Fate Zero, so there's that. Kaito Joker, I haven't watched any of it. I think the Kaito Joker franchise is linked to Detective Conan, which I haven't watched any of. It's also like one of the longest running series of all time. Just like Ippo is in terms of chapters in manga. It says like 700-800 episodes for Detective Conan. Something crazy. I didn't even look into this one, so I'm just gonna skip it. I really am going really long on this one, but yeah. Alright. Maybe you guys like that I'm really elaborating on this stuff. Okay, so next is Kido Senshi Gundam Re 0096. Okay, so this is one that I would love to watch. Unfortunately, I don't have much Gundam under my belt. In fact, I haven't finished any Gundam shows. Back in the day, on Toonami, I watched Gundam Wing, right? A lot of people watch Gundam Wing. You know, alongside Zoids and Yu Yu Hakusho was on... Toonami was the best. I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, this is from what I understand, a follow-up to Gundam Unicorn. That is the Unicorn Gundam right there. Char Aznable. I know these characters. I've played the Dynasty Warriors Gundam game, and I really like Gundams, but I still am really far behind. So, I need to watch original Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam. I need to watch Gundam, Zeta Gundam, and Double Zeta. And I need to watch Char's Counterattack. And then Unicorn, which I've been trying to get to. And then I can watch this. So the prerequisite for this is pretty insane, really. If you want to understand everything, I'm sure you can jump into Unicorn and then go to this. But from what I've heard, and basically what I want to do with this series is really lead up to it. Because Char himself seems to be a really complex and cool character. Later on we'll talk about it, but Gundam The Origin is also something that is fantastic. That I also want to watch that I can't because of this prerequisite stuff. I think I also have some information about this. Oh yeah, so I have some director information. Nothing really else besides most of the staff has worked on like almost all the Gundam shows. So besides that, the director worked on the original Hunter x Hunter and worked on Rurouni Kenshin. So those are beloved series. So it seems like it's going to be a pretty good director. If you're worried about that at all. Everyone else on staff is really, it's done by Sunrise. They do all the mecha shows, so it should be fantastic otherwise. Alright. Okay, so. Okay, so this is Kiznaiver by Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger, let's just put it out there. They did Kill la Kill. They did Ino Battle wa Nichijou Kei no Naka de, which was like a power-based show that was in a school. I should have finished it, but I didn't. It was pretty interesting. And they also made Little Witch Academia, which I have no history of. I think my roommate actually watched that one. And Ninja Slayer from Animation, which I've heard either is straight garbage or one of the best things they watched this season. It depends on who you ask. But let's just say that Studio Trigger, when they formed their studio, I don't remember what their parent studio was, but their parent studio was in charge of doing Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann, revered, really great show. I watched it myself, like marathon that show. Really, really fantastic. If you've not watched that, maybe that'll give you an indication of why people are so excited about these shows that buy Trigger and what they're expecting. They've never reached that. Kill la Kill for sure did not reach that. Kill la Kill was okay for what it was. Really quirky, really unique, fun battles, but otherwise was not very good, in my opinion. But this is something new they're trying. Same, like I said earlier, same character designer as Joker game. Here's something that like, there's not much information about this besides the summary right here. So Kiznaiver is like a system where people share wounds, and I think maybe the wounds are supposed to bring people together. Like, sharing wounds is somehow supposed to bring each other together. It's in a pretty bad society, I think, with the human population ever decreasing. And basically that's it. The trailer tells you nothing. That basically shows you a few character designs, nothing else. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Based on the character design and the key art right here, for sure it looks like it'll be at least pretty good. But I'm going to hold my hype for this. I recommend you do as well. I know it's Trigger. I know you're expecting something good from it. But there's nothing really to really warrant the hype that I'm seeing so far for this. Unless, well, okay, so yeah, it's not even a manga or a light novel. It's an original, like it says right here. The director is a first-time director. He helped with Kill la Kill. He helped with Shingeki no Bahamut, which is a really good show that aired earlier, Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis, and helped with a few other shows' individual episodes. And it's the same guy. The music's going to be fantastic again. Haikyuu, like I said earlier, Boku no Hero Academia, Death Parade. Really good music for sure. It's going to be in this show. But yeah, I would at least be reserved about what this is until at least we get a solid trailer. And then, that's when the hype machine builds up once we see some animation. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be good. Just from the key art, if that's the only thing to judge it by. Live reaction, of course. And here we go. Oh, this is what I'm most hyped for, even though it slightly seems pretty knockoffy, but it's knockoffy of the same studio that made the original work. Anyways, this is an original show, so not like Attack on Titan where people try to spoil each other back and forth. No source material. I love when there's original shows, because no one can spoil things, right? And people are freaking out at the same time. Of course, if you were like late on a show, of course they can spoil you. But Studio Wit did Attack on Titan. Very obvious that they did Attack on Titan based on, if you watch this trailer, the best looking trailer out of all of them. Okay, so Studio Wit also did Seraph of the End, and they also did Rolling Girls, which were all beautiful, varied shows. Rolling Girls, really colorful, fantastic effects in the show. Seraph of the End, not as good looking as far as animation is concerned, but the background works, the oil painting like stuff, and of course Attack on Titan, one of the best looks for a show that I've seen, for sure. The director, fantastic director. He directed Death Note, Guilty Crown, and Attack on Titan. And he is partnering with the writer of Code Geass. And the guy did the screenplay for the Berserk movie. Can you tell that I'm hyped for this? Because, holy crap, the staff on this. The look of this, man. And musically, Hiroyuki Sawano. Hiroyuki Sawano did the music for Attack on Titan, Seven Deadly Sins, All Noah Zero, Guilty Crown, Blue Exorcist, and Kill la Kill. Do any of these have bad soundtracks? No. There is around three, what are they called? Composers. Three composers that I'm really, really familiar with. Hiroyuki Sawano is one of them. Yoko Kanno. What's the other one? Give me one. I need to I need to state the other one's name, or it's gonna bug me. It is literally this Hiroyuki Sawano in particular is my literal favorite. There is no one in my mind that is like fits my taste in music any better. The epic, very swelling, orchestral, really beautiful music. Who the hell am I missing? Yuki Kajira. How could I forget Yuki Kajira? Yuki Kajira is the other one. Those three are my absolute favorite music composers. And it's fantastic to see that we have this. The look, if you've watched the trailer, it is Attack on Titan, but varied. Of course, we might get to the first episode and it's very different, but there is a Titan-like enemy, but it looks like it's on fire. The characters seem to have steam-like weapons, steam-like canisters that are very similar to the 3D maneuver gear from Attack on Titan. They also use swords to cut them, but they use guns as well, so there's a difference there. The other thing is that there's returning voice actors. You might hear Aaron's voice actor in the trailer, which is really funny. Like, there's so many comparisons you can make to Attack on Titan. But, you know, a lot of people are saying, they're dismissing this because it's so similar. And it's like, how can you dismiss something if it's similar to something that's very good? And story-wise, we have no idea what it's really about besides, like, that it's, like, you know, like a steam-powered world, that it's an industrial revolution, monsters appear. Here's the thing. They infect humans. That's pretty different, you know, like, they're not just eaten. And just the weaponry itself will be pretty different, and the setting will be very different. It's not going to be like a walled-off city. The Attack on Titan setup was perfect. I'm hoping this is just as good. There's a lot going on here, and I've really tried to keep myself in the dark just because I want to know as much as possible. Like, I've read snippets from this summary, and that's why I'm not telling you guys exactly what it's about, because I myself have not really looked into it besides looking for similarities, really. But yeah, I feel like they've harnessed some of the best looking things, and they have an incredible staff. So I can't. This is my number one. Number one, this most anticipated. Number two, JoJo's. Number three, Boku no Hero Academia. And if you wanted to assign like a number 4 or 5, I'd probably go Stray Dogs, followed by what's the other one? Stray Dogs and Joker Game. Unless there's something further down that I'm forgetting. I feel like it's going to be good. I have a feeling. Just based on that one trailer. But, you know. Sometimes you can be let down. So, be prepared. Kumo Miko. There's some bear that is being served. Like, the main character works at a shrine that enshrines this bear, and he talks. Does that look good? Okay. Go check it out if it's cool. I do not have any interest. Alright. Next. Kuromukuro. Kuromukuro is a PA Works show. No real information about it, but I'm going to give it a shot. And here's why. Because this is a 15th anniversary work. PA Works is a very, very talented studio. They did Angel Beats, Shirobako, Charlotte, and Nagi no Asakura. All really highly regarded shows. And I feel like if you're doing a 15th anniversary, you're gonna, like, go all out, right? So the director did Seven Deadly Sins and Darker Than Black, okay? Now you look at that and you look at the cover art and you're like, what? What? If you watch the trailer, it almost looks like a slice of life show. But then you look at the tags and it says Action Mecha. If you look at the old key art, you'll see this giant mech in the background. And I feel like they're hiding information on purpose for this show. And that makes me intrigued. Maybe I'll do live reactions for this. Maybe not. I'm still trying to decide. Because there's so little information right now, I have it marked down as, you know, I'll just watch it on my own. But, you know, maybe you guys recognize the art itself, because the Nagi no Asakura people that, you know, the person that did the character design for that did the character design for this. And if you've heard of the show Another, which I've heard is a pretty good show as well, same character designer. So yeah, this is not much information, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Just like Kiznaiver, it's from a studio that I feel like is good, so I feel like I should at least give it a shot, even if there's no real information on it. You know, I usually give a 3-episode treatment on shows, right? And if it's not better than 3 episodes, I'll usually drop it, or I'll get everyone's opinion, like that might have some insight into what's happening. Or if I drop it and some people say that it usually picks up, maybe I'll pick it up again. So that's usually how I deal with things. Alright. Man, it's dark in here, isn't it? I don't want to turn on a light because I feel like this head-on in the darkness look is pretty cool. Oh, man. Dude, my throat is hurting. How much is left? Jeez. I have like 5 shows that I have a lot of information about. Okay. Kyoka no Rine 2. I watched 1 episode of this and I dropped it. And I think it was what's that show called? That shoujo show about the fox dude. It's pretty famous. God, I'm not gonna remember, am I? I think it feels like it starts with the Y. Yeah. Alright, never mind. If you look up the director for this, I believe it's the same one as one of the previous. You know what? Let's just look into this. Prequel. Director. No. Creator. Inuyasha. Wow. I knew it was a Y, but Inuyasha. Yeah, so if you guys liked Inuyasha, I never watched Inuyasha. Maybe it's good. I was reading reviews for this, and they wasn't reviewing it the best. Maybe like B's and C's and stuff like that. A couple A's. But it seems like it's about this girl that's a normal girl, and this guy is like a Shinigami, it looks like. And she runs into a lot of like, you know, supernatural people, you know, vampires like up here, and cat people, and you know, I'm not overly familiar with it, but there's a season 2 for those of you that are interested in this show. Macross, I've not watched a single show that has to do with Macross. I'm not even sure how many there are. I know as a mech series, Macross is actually pretty highly regarded by some people. Actually, I've seen some lists where Macross is like in their top 3 shows ever. So, I don't know. Not really something I'm interested in. So I haven't really looked into it because I haven't seen any of the Macross shows. But that's there for you, those of you that are interested. Alright. So, Smoggy Sinbad no Boken. The Sinbad OVAs, I believe, turned into a full series. This should give ample time for this manga source material to actually be fleshed out. I've heard that the OVA was pretty rushed. The people that are doing this are the same people that did the OVA. So this is I think it tells the story of how Sinbad met all of his commanders. And Sinbad, if you guys know, is probably my favorite character in the entire Magi series. My Magi Live reactions, I have all of season 2. So if you guys are interested in that, those are available. But right now, you know, the committee's going around, so they're private. But when I unprivate, Magi's around for you guys to enjoy if you guys wanted to look at that. But yeah, I'm really interested to see more about Sinbad because I like him so much. And the only thing is that I wish it was A1 Pictures doing it like they did the original series, because, you know, this studio is pretty newish at what they're doing. They've only done the Sinbad OVA and Classroom Crisis. They were founded in 2013, and they did a 2014 show, 2015 show, and now they're doing a 2016 show. So they're really untested. I don't know if you guys can speak to the quality of how the Sinbad OVA was animated and all that, and if it was, despite the rushing, how well the scenes were portrayed. Maybe you guys can give me a little bit more confidence in this studio, but from the record and stuff, I feel like it's gonna be great regardless. But I'm just saying that it could probably be handled by a better studio. Tokyo Ghoul could have been handled by freaking Madhouse, and it would be one of the gems of the freaking anime world. But we freaking got Studio Pierrot, right? It really depends on who gets it. Freaking Dragon Ball Super, Toei Animation. Hunter x Hunter got Madhouse. Look how that turned out. Amazing. I feel like Madhouse is probably the one. Madhouse and Bones and Ufotable are the ones that are my favorite studios. Those are the ones I usually have absolute faith in. You know, I also have faith in, A1 Pictures and a couple others I can't think off the top of my head right now. So, okay, here's one that I was originally planning to watch, and then I saw how many shows that I'm watching, and I decided to drop it. So, this is called Miyaga, I don't know, which is made by Dio Media. Now, Dio Media has not made a single good show as far as I could see. They made Akuma no Riddle, which is like probably my second least favorite show that I've ever watched. My least favorite being, I'm going to get hate for this for sure, but my least favorite show that I've ever watched is Madoka. I said it. Madoka, my roommate really wanted me to watch it. He said it was one of the best shows he's seen. He's still, he's into like everything in Madoka, but I watched it and I literally hated it. Like one of the, maybe it's just because I'm not into magical girls, even if it is in a dark sense. I just thought that a lot of it was poorly executed. Here's the thing. Usually, if I watch a show and I complete it, I at least think it's good, right? That's why my anime list average for shows is like around an 8, because usually the spread is usually 7s, 9s, and then a few 8s in the middle, right? Usually I don't watch 6s or 5s. Akuma no Riddle is the only one that I watched that I give like a 6. In terms of my scale on my anime list is enjoyment, if you guys didn't know. Like, this is not critical at all, because if it was critical, a lot of those shows wouldn't be getting 10s that I'm giving 10s. But like, the 10s are the best of the best, and then my lowest is a 5 for Madoka, which is below average for me. But anyways, Dio Media has only done Akuma no Riddle, which is one of my least favorite shows. But the director did Prison School Shirobako and another. So that's good, right? Akuma no Riddle looks fine. So if the director's good, it should be good. And the music is the same one who did Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso and Iron Blooded Orphans and Plastic Memories. So those are all really good musically. It's basically a show about like these 30 people that go on a bus tour that are looking into an abandoned village. And I just thought, that's pretty mysterious. Maybe I'll give it a shot, but I'm not. If you guys tell me it's fantastic, maybe I'll give it a shot, but otherwise, for now, nope. Okay. Let's see. Netoge no yome wa onnanako janai to omoto. Onnanako is little girl, or onna no hito tachi. Onnanako maybe older girl? I don't remember. But this is a show about a guy that has been betrayed online. Maybe you guys can relate to this, but I can certainly relate to this. When you were younger and you played like games like RuneScape, you would like go around and get like a girlfriend, right? Like online, you're like, oh man, girlfriend, wow, this is fantastic. And then it would end up being a dude, right? That's what happened to this guy. One of my friends would act as a girl on RuneScape just so he can get money from dudes. It worked really well. But this has made him so he does not want to trust any girls online, right? But eventually, I think he does, and it turns out to be a really hot girl. And he, I think, based on the image, it looks like he meets with her in person as well as online. But it looks like she has a staff, so maybe that's online. I don't know. And it's basically something about that. It's a comedy. It looks like ecchi romance school. So if you guys are interested in that, that seems okay to me. It's a perfectly good premise. Something that hasn't really been touched on in a lot of shows. The discrepancy between how people are online versus in the real world. The veil of anonymity is can change people dramatically, and I would love to see more shows that deal with that. The only show that I've really seen where that is even remotely part of it is there was one episode in Psycho-Pass that dealt with that, and I guess is the first episode of Sword Art also did. Sword Art Online, when all the guys got exposed that were playing as girls into their real selves. That was funny. Otherwise, oh yeah, and Log Horizon, the first episode with the Akatsuki. That was pretty good too. Anyways, moving on. Prepara, Idol Show, 3rd season. If you guys are interested in that, go for it. Alright, so Rei Zero Kara Hajimeru Isekai Seikatsu. Hajimaru is to begin? Beginning? Let's start? Something like that? Huh. I don't know. I usually I have to translate words that I feel like are familiar. So this is a show that I was originally not going to do live reactions to, just watch on my own. But I've heard, just searching around the web, people swear by this. Like, this is supposed to be fantastic. Based on a light novel, some people say it's supposed to be pretty funny, but based on just the description and these tags, it doesn't seem like it. So this has a pretty interesting premise. So if any of you have seen Groundhog's Day or Edge of Tomorrow, that is the basic premise of this. The main character has the power to go back in time if he ends up like dying or something like that. But what happens when he dies is he starts that day. I don't know if it's the day or just a certain point in time, but he is the only one who remembers the events of what happened last time. Now, this can be done to perfection. Edge of Tomorrow was great. I haven't watched Groundhog Day, but I know that's supposed to be what it's like. But, it's more about, like, the character dies, they learn something, and they improve upon what they learned, and, they try something different, keep on trying and trying and trying, slowly getting more and more information, getting a little further, and it's really entertaining to watch. If you guys haven't watched Punchline was in my top 10 shows of last year. That, it may not seem like it, but that is a huge part of that show. If you haven't watched it, I guarantee you, okay, I shouldn't guarantee, but I feel like it is really worth watching if you haven't watched Punchline. Anyways, it's an alternate world, really. And this I think it's this girl over, let me see here. This girl over here, this main character saves her, and because he saves her, I think he becomes a target of a lot of a lot of people. I think they're out to get her, and because he's with her, it ends up being him also being targeted, and maybe that's how he keeps on dying or something. Maybe he's trying to save her. I'm not sure of the exact premise of the show. But I know from the trailer, beautiful, beautiful. White Fox did Steins Gate. Devil's a part-timer. They did Jormungand, Akame ga Kill, and Uteware Rumono. I don't know how to say that right yet. So I can speak for everything except that last one. Beautifully done. Maybe the source material isn't best. I cite Akame ga Kill. Akame ga Kill was really fun, but not the best. I really enjoyed the ride, but Steins Gate, one of my all-time favorites. Devil's a Part-Timer, I watched a little bit. It seemed fantastic. Jormungand is supposed to be another version of what is it called? Black Lagoon, and Black Lagoon is fantastic. So, a pretty good studio. Unfortunately, director hasn't really done anything of note. And the character designer, maybe it looks familiar to some of you. Maybe some of you guys who love Madoka. Maybe you guys have watched Selector Spread Wixoss or Wishwar. I don't know how to say Wishwars. Wixoss. It's probably Wishwars, isn't it? No, that's a different game. Which was like a card lolly death game. Which, you know, Madoka is a lolly death game, basically. Not a game, but, you know, dark. So, you know, staff-wise, not the best, but studio-wise, they have some real firepower and some good people behind it. White Box. Alright, Sakemoto Desuga. Sakemoto Desuga is from what I understand, it's about a dude who's perfect in every regard. So basically, it seems like a show that would piss me off, right? Everyone has a little bit of jealousy, but this looks like something that is more aimed for a female audience, to me at least. It's based off a manga. Studio Dean is doing it, though, so it doesn't look very good. Studio Dean this season has done a good job. They did Rakugo and something else. They did something else good. Oh, yeah, it's Konosuba. So they can do good work. I was just surprised they did it. So yeah, it's supposed to be a comedy. I don't know. They tried to upstage him, but no one can, and that's where the comedy lies. Sancho Sanyo, I have no idea what this is about. Little girls with all kinds of stuff happening, and there's some dude flying in the background. I didn't really look into it. Didn't look intriguing. Seisin Cerberus Kyo Ryokoku. So this is a show. Alright, two more. Anyways, this is a show that I was originally gonna maybe watch on my own, but then I read the description and looked into it. It just seems super generic. I'm trying to, you know, if I'm cutting down on anime that I'm watching, this seemed like a prime candidate. It's really your typical fantasy show where there are two worlds. One has like, you know, an evil dragon in it, and the main character needs to slay it, and that's the basic premise of it. I mean, the art looks pretty cool. The studio that is doing it, Bridge, it was in charge of Fairy Tail 2014. I think that's still going on, and that, you know, I just from this art I can see that influence. So if you guys just want another action show, this is available to you guys. So yeah, it's based on a video game. I didn't realize that. You know, video game adaptations usually not good. I feel like Ace Attorney is perfect for an adaptation. Visual novels, good adaptations. Steins Gate, Psycho-Pass, and Phoenix Wright. Anyways, moving on. Shonen Maid, something about maids. I don't know. Not interested. I'm kind of rushing now just because my parents are home, so I don't know when dinner's gonna be ready. Okay, Sosei no Onmyoji. I was about to drop this, and then I read the comments about how great the source material is. Okay, die-hard fans for this. Die-hard fans. But almost everyone I read about is really disappointed that Pierrot is doing it because, you know, they had amazing source material for Tokyo Ghoul, and they kind of stunted it for the most part. So this is basically about these two people that are exorcists that are fated to marry, from what I understand. So, you know, being exorcists, they're probably hunting demons, from what I can guess. And they're going into another world to rescue a friend. That's all I really know about the show itself. It's you know, looks like a good little shonen show. The trailer itself did not give much away. Nothing to really prove how well Studio Pierrot is going to manage their budget this time around. But let's just say they've ruined such things such as Baby Steps, Tokyo Ghoul, Naruto Shippuden, Bleach, and maybe some of you won't agree, but Yu Yu Hakusho, a lot of the effects and stuff, the source material for Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite shows. But can you imagine a Madhouse Yu Yu Hakusho? Don't tell me you don't want that. That is my number one, like, besides like a full manga adaptation of Berserk without CG. Yu Yu Hakusho is what I want more than anything. A remake in the style of Hunter x Hunter. But sucks when Pirat or one of these studios that don't really respect the property. Man, that's kind of harsh. We just don't have the means to hold up these things. You would think that they'd be rolling in money, right? They do Naruto Shippuden, like one of the freaking biggest things. Toei does freaking One Piece, and those are the most popular things ever. You would think that they would put a little money into it, but I guess as long as people keep watching it, there's no reason for them to do anything about it. So that's unfortunate. Anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna watch this just based on goodwill. Just people talking about how good the source material is. Super Lovers. I have no idea. Studio Dean. Sword Guy. This was something that I was looking into, but there's no trailer, no nothing. It's about like some samurai dude who loses a loved one, and he loses an arm at some point, and eventually he gains the ability to fuse his arm, his stub with weapons and stuff, and use them that way. It seemed cool, but until I see someone tells me if the manga is any good, or if I get a trailer, maybe I'll add this, but otherwise, no. Alright, Tanaka-kun wa Itsume Kudaragi. Kudaragi? Oh man, I don't have information on this? I should. Huh. Okay, so this manga is supposed to be pretty good. It's about a slacker kid. This is my slice of life, down-to-earth show of the season. Basically about a kid that meets a guy who's his exact opposite, just highly energetic, who just tries to change him. I like this art style that they have going on right here. The character designs are pretty cool. I'm pretty sure Silverlink. Let me just make sure. Silverlink is a pretty decent studio. Yeah, they did Rikkaido Kishi no Iotan, which I was talking about, which is pretty good. The battle scenes in that are fantastic. Fate Collide Linear is probably pretty good looking. I've seen some trailers for that. I'm not really interested in that, but let's see. Otherwise, it looks like, yeah, maybe it's okay. Oh man, my scroll bar is basically broken. Yuri Kumarashi is supposed to be pretty good looking, but not interested in that source material. Anyways, yeah, so this might be something I drop based on if I enjoy it or not. But it looks interesting. Pretty good. Last thing, this is something that I might drop too. Okay, so Terraform Mars. Revenge. So Terraform Mars, I like what they're doing with Terraform Mars. This is the most intense trailer of the season. DBZ all the way. I love that. The yelling in this freaking trailer is fantastic. It depends on how egregious the freaking censorship is, honestly. If it's super egregious, I may even drop it. Maybe I'll watch it on my own. But once the censorship gets so over the top, I can't. It just, they're covering up so much real estate in this freaking show, at least from based on the first season. This is hyper-violence. That's what is so great about this show, right? The insane ways these cockroaches kill people, and the insane ways that the people kill the cockroaches. If you don't know about this, okay, so you guys probably know what terraforming is, right? So if you guys don't know, terraforming is when you change usually it's based on changing a planet's surface or atmosphere so that life can exist upon it. So, it's just changing the area to suit your needs. So in Terraform Mars, they send these bugs out to Mars in hopes that they can terraform the atmosphere and soil and all that for life, and they end up becoming these killer giant muscle roaches that kill people. And that is the premise. They're out there to wipe out these people, these things, and they've sent multiple expeditions, and there's a lot of death, a lot of gore. And if you're into any of that stuff, maybe you should give the first season a shot if you haven't already. But at least now there should be non-censored versions. So there's that. But even before the season starts, I may not do it, but we'll see. Studio Dean making some DJ show, I don't know. No idea. Unhappy, I don't know. Seems to be some student show. I didn't really look into it. Ushu Tutorial. Okay, so this is probably something that some of you are going to have a problem with. So I did live reactions to Ushu Tutorial Season 1. The plan is to not do live reactions to Season 2. Reason being that I was not enjoying keeping up the schedule with Ushu Tutorial. Just live reacting to it was not that fun. I feel like it would be something that I'd enjoy more if I was watching it by myself, at my own pace, at my own time, whenever I want to. Maybe just, hold out on a few episodes and watch it in a row. I want to treat it like that, and that's made it so I don't really want to live react to it. And I hope you guys respect that. But yeah, that's my reasoning behind that. Okay. So yeah, Winter Leftovers, Assassination Classroom 2. I tried catching up on Assassination Classroom, and it just isn't for me. So those of you enjoying that, you'll enjoy a bit more. I think it's going to be 24 episodes, maybe all the way to the end of Assassination Classroom. Need Zero Days, I don't know what the heck this is, but those of you that are watching it, there's more of it. Shorts, I usually never watch these shorts, so yeah, not interested. All these are really weird looking. This looked interesting, but I didn't watch Kagewana, and I looked up the scores and such, and it's not good. So I don't know. Like usually it's like this kiddie plain animation stuff. Onigiri. This looks like fan service. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of shorts, man. This is more than I expected. Okay, movies. Usually I just don't end up watching these, but I go over them anyway. Okay, so Ajin, I'm watching Ajin on my own still just because of how bad the copyright situation is. I've heard of people getting strikes with no footage, nothing, so I'm just watching it on my own. And this is, I think the second movie already covers a part of what is already being animated. For sure, if you're not watching Ajin, watch Ajin. Watch it. Watch it. It is really good. Suspenseful. It's very easy to get caught up in like just hating the CG, but you owe it to yourself to get in. The story is just so good. It's so good. And I wish I was doing live reactions to it just because I want more people to watch it. But here's my opportunity for the few of you that aren't watching it, hopefully a few of you, because I feel like this is a show that's being swept under the rug. This and Rakugo. Rakugo, I think it's Showa no Rakugo, SHOUWA something something Rakugo. Rakugo is my favorite show right now, above Erased. At least if you don't count Haikyuu and Gintama. Haikyuu and then Gintama at the top. Those are the shows I'm watching right now. At least that I'm not counting as part of the season, right? Because they're longer, and I count them as part of this year, but not the season. And Ajin. Ajin is one of my favorites too. I'm really enjoying it. Konosuba was one of the ones I really enjoyed as well. But yeah, if you're not watching Ajin, go watch Ajin. Watch a few episodes. If you're not into it, you're not into it, but definitely worth a shot. Detective Conan, for those of you that don't think 700 something episodes is not enough, or you guys just want more, there's more of it for you. A film. Let's see. Garo, set 4 years after the TV anime Garo. So I was watching Garo season 2, the first episode, absolute garbage. Garo season 1, pretty good. Second half especially the second half, some of the best animation I've seen in a while. It's made by Studio Mappa, which I'll stand by if they make another new show. They're doing Ushu Tutorial, which is really good, but like I said, I just don't want to live react to it. They're doing good work, and they did one of my favorite shows ever. It was Zankyou no Terror. Great. A lot of big names in this studio. So there's that. If I can find, it's really hard to find movies, you know. And they don't. If it was released here, I would actually go watch this stuff. It was subtitled, but you know what is being released here? I think is what is it called? What is it called? The Monogatari one that everyone's been waiting for. Ah, man, this is gonna bother me. Anyways, those of you that know that, I really want to watch that. I've been holding off on the second season of Monogatari just because I want to live react to it eventually. But I want to get through the ones that people I voted for first, and I want to do more Gintama when I feel like it. But it's supposed to be coming to the States, and if it comes to the States and locally, I will for sure go watch that. Which one was it? I was looking into it. Oh man, Monogatari, Kizu Monogatari, Kizu Monogatari. So yeah, Kizu Monogatari. If you guys are, I don't know when that's supposed to be coming out this year. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. A fourth part of a movie. I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe I'll go watch this because it's Yugi and Kaiba. I really like Kaiba. Kaiba's like my favorite character in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's a new movie. I don't know. Maybe it'll be cool. Maybe not. But if I can find it, I'll probably end up watching this. Like I said, the only card game that I watch. No idea what this is. Time me look into it. I should probably, yeah. So I'll probably watch this. Ajin OVA about the very first Ajin. Has been foreshadowed a lot or talked about in general in the show. So I'd be really interested to see more about him. Durarexu Ketsu. So when the dub comes out of this, I'm going to watch it. I'll probably end up doing live reactions to it if you guys want me to. Otherwise, I'll watch, just watch it on my own. A lot of you have probably already watched it. Maybe you don't want to watch reactions to dub stuff, but if I do reactions to a dub show, maybe it'll be like no audio anyway and subtitles, so it doesn't really matter as long as I enjoy it, right? So I'll definitely get to that. Girls in Panzer, I have no freaking inclination to watching Girls in Panzer, not at all. Another one, a special. Some kids thing that looks like Kekai Sensen, pretty good show. An adaptation of just a story, something probably episodic in Kekai Sensen. I'll give it a shot. Kekai Sensen was pretty enjoyable, not the amazing thing I was hoping it would be. So there's that. Gundam The Origin. If you guys are really familiar with Gundam, you should be watching Gundam The Origin. I wish I could watch it, but there's more Gundam The Origin. This is the first episode? No. This is the third one. This should be the third one, I think. Yeah. Oh, right here, episode 3. Yeah. I really want to get to it. I mean, the animation and everything looks fantastic, and it's supposed to be the best. So, yep. Seraph of the End. I dropped Seraph of the End, so I don't think I'll be watching this. My roommate really wants me to watch season 2 on my own time, just because he said the last few episodes are pretty good, but just getting to a point where the last episodes are kind of good just doesn't sit well with me. Maybe I'll do it, but I won't be able to do live reactions to it. And this is one of my most anticipated movies. This was kickstarted, I believe. I can't really speak to what it's about. It seems to be pretty futuristic, but it's so beautifully animated. Just look up the trailer, and I think it'll speak for itself. For sure, look at the trailer of this if you haven't already. I'm just really worried because the staffing and the studio changing that this has been going through has been insane, and it's only one episode of 24 minutes instead of a full-length movie. I hope it's really good. Just based on the trailer, it looks pretty good, but who can say with all these troubles that these studios are going through. I feel like they needed a lot of money from Kickstarter to make a movie, so yeah. Let's see. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, let's see, zoom out back to 100%. Turn the shows I'm not going to watch off. Go back. Alright. So you guys can just see what my lineup looks like. Okay. Here we go. One back. Alright. So, let's just do live reactions first, alright? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 if you guys want me to. But I'll say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 live reactions, not bad, not a ton. And then we have total shows that I'm watching: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. God. Oh my god, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 shows. Decent amount. Right now I got down to 12 shows after dropping a few for this season. So 16 seems a good amount. A few of them will probably be dropped along the way, but so far this is what I have been doing. This is an hour and a half long, double what I did last time. I'm sorry if it ran too long, but I hope you guys got the information that you guys wanted. I should really streamline this unless you guys want this kind of information and my input on everything. So, yeah, I hope you found this very informative. I hope you guys look into some of the things that I've asked you to look into if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm welcome to all the feedback. I've said a lot of things. Maybe I misspoke about some things. If there's mistakes I've made, please make corrections in the comment section. I usually read these comments. Yeah. Let me know about things that I don't know about, source material that you've read that you know is really good, and or like things that you know are live reaction worthy that I have not labeled as live reactions. And yeah, I am really looking forward to this season. There are a lot of promising shows, and I hope it delivers. This season right now, besides Erased and Haikyuu and Gintama, most shows that were hyped up have not been delivering. So, unless it's a show I haven't watched. Otherwise, yeah. Anyways, I'll stop now. I'm gonna go eat dinner. This is so dark. You guys have probably seen like the freaking lights slowly get darker and darker. Anyways, if you do this reaction, this is not a reaction. What am I doing? I'm just used to ending videos like that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.